Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. If you liked my previous stories, and this story, be sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell. Tonight's story is The Whispering Woods. In a small, isolated village nestled deep within an ancient forest, there existed a place of dread known as the Whispering Woods. The locals believed that malevolent spirits who were once the cause of such chaos reside there, unable to move on to the next realm of existence, for they are trapped in a memory of greed and desire. They would pillage, murder, and even separate families from one another, but more and more they wanted, it was never enough. Late at night, screams of pain and agony would echo through these haunted woods. The villagers never dared to step into this forest, for no one knew what horrors would await them. One moonless night, a group of adventurous friends found themselves bored and in need of some kind of adventure. Mark, already having finished 2 tall boys, chucks his beer can into the fire that his group of friends was huddled around and says, "You know what would be fun?" Lisa, his girlfriend, looks up from the fire. What's that, babe?" "We should explore the Whispering Woods." Tom and Emily's eyes widened with fear. Tom shakes his head. "How many beers have you had? Because you are speaking utter nonsense." Emily wraps her arms around herself. "My mom says that when she was little, she would see ghostly figures walking around the edge of the forest at night. There's no way, Mark." Mark scoffs as he walks around the group. "Oh, come on, guys. You don't actually believe it's haunted, do you?" Tom gives Mark a look. "Mark, come on, man. You live here too. You hear the howling and the screams coming from the forest? Did you hit your head at the last football practice?" "Tom is right, Mark. We really shouldn't go in there," Lisa says nervously. But after several more pleas and a couple of playful insults towards the group, they relent and decide that their small town's silly superstitions really should be put to rest. After all, this isn't a horror movie. So beers in hand, they arm themselves with flashlights and a cricket bat. Yeah, I'm not sure why a cricket bat was the chosen choice for a weapon either, but let's wait and see what happens. Onward they go to explore the Whispering Woods, jaws clenched tight as they entered the eerie, shadowy expanse. As they ventured deeper, the dense canopy above blocked out the stars, plunging them into total darkness. The air was heavy, and a sense of unease settled upon them. Strange whispers seemed to emanate from the trees, filling their minds with haunting voices. "Wait, stop. Is it just me, or do you guys hear that too?" Emily nervously whispers. "Oh, stop overreacting. It's obviously just the wind," Mark says, trying to sound more confident than he was, but he too heard the whispers and felt them begin to infiltrate his mind. Unnerved and slightly terrified, the group pressed on, for no one wanted to be the one to chicken out first. Little by little, they further into the forest, with only the dim light of their cheap dollar store flashlights to light the way. However, the forest began to play tricks on their senses, distorting the path before them. Emily stops suddenly. "Guys, is it just me, or did we already pass this tree?" Tom looks up and shakes his head. "Nah, it's a forest, Emily, and it's dark. It just looks like the same tree." Mark is growing impatient and pushes past them both. "Come on, you two. Let's keep going. I want to see what the cause of the screams are." Mark walks off into the dark, leaving the group behind. Lisa is not pleased. "That jerk only cares about himself." Emily puts her arm around Lisa and says in a deep, manly voice, "It's okay, baby. I'll protect you." Tom dramatically puts his hand on his chest, pretending to be utterly wounded, chimes in, "Ouch! My manliness! I guess I'm just chopped liver then." The girls laugh as the 3 of them continue on in the direction that Mark went. Suddenly, Tom stops abruptly in front of the girls and holds up his hand. "Shh." The girls stop, straining their eyes in the darkness. Suddenly they hear a crack in the forest. Their breathing begins to quicken. Tom motions for them to stay close and slowly moves forward. Each step they took brought them further into the heart of the Whispering Woods. Their heartbeats echoed in their ears as they tried to shake off the feeling of being watched. Shadows danced in the periphery of their vision, and whispers grew louder, almost pleading. Another crack in the woods is heard, and Emily can't stand it and runs away from the group. "Emily, come back!" And in that moment, a shadowy figure jumps out and tackles Tom to the ground. Lisa screams, growls echo through the woods, but quickly turns into laughter. Tom stops fighting when he realizes it's only Mark and angrily pushes him off. "Mark, you dirty bastard!" Mark, too busy laughing to the point of crying, can't even get a word out. "Oh my God, you should have seen your face!" Lisa, still hyperventilating, walks over and punches Mark in the arm. "Mark, you asshole!" "Oh, come on, baby, it's just a joke. See, nothing in the forest is gonna hurt you." Lisa rolls her eyes. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. Emily's scream. The group rushed toward the sound, only to find her standing alone in the clearing, her face contorted with fear. Mark, Lisa, and Tom walk over to her slowly. "Emily, are you okay?" Tom asks as he continues to move closer. Emily remains unmoving. The group looks at each other, unsure of what to do, when suddenly Emily snaps out of it like she just noticed that they were there. Crying, Emily whimpers hysterically. "Something whispered to me in my ear back there, like he was standing behind me." Mark scrunches his eyebrows. "He?" "I'm sure it was just the wind, Emily," Tom says, trying to reassure her as he throws a dirty look to Mark. Lisa and Tom tried to reassure Emily, but before they could decide what to do next, the forest seemed to come alive. Vines slithered across the ground, reaching for their ankles like sinister fingers. The girls scream and the boys shout profanity. All of them begin to scramble and press themselves against the trees, trying to dodge the vines. Trees moaned and branches twisted like gnarled claws. In the chaos, Lisa's flashlight flickered and died, leaving them in complete darkness. Panic gripped the group as they clung to each other, attempting to escape the clutches of the living forest, but the woods seemed to tighten its grip, making escape impossible. Suddenly, Mark felt a cold, bony hand gripping his shoulder. "Lisa, is that you?" In that moment, Lisa's flashlight comes back to life, revealing a haunting figure, a spectral being with hollow eyes. Mark turns around and screams, scrambling away. The figure jerks his head unnaturally while whispering incoherently. It spoke of forgotten sins and ancient grudges, tormenting Mark's mind. Mark, falling to his knees right in front of Lisa, begins to scream as he presses his hands against his temples, his face turning red, and the veins in his forehead begin popping out. Emily screaming hysterically, "Make it stop! Make it stop!" "Mark, get up, man!" Tom pleads as he tries to lift Mark to his feet. Tom looks down to see Mark's horrified expression. He couldn't move, paralyzed by the ghostly encounter. Lisa managed to rekindle her flashlight, illuminating the figure behind Mark. The sight was horrifying, but they couldn't leave him behind. Lisa drops the flashlight and grabs Mark's hand, lifting his arm over her shoulder. Tom bends down and lifts Mark's other arm over his shoulder, and together they run. Emily stoops down and grabs the flashlight, running ahead of them as they try to find their way out of the ever-shifting woods. Tom, taking most of Mark's weight, grunts, "Which way out of here?" Emily stops abruptly, looking in all directions, trying to focus as the whispers grow more intense, filling her head with disturbing thoughts and dreadful promises. Emily shakes her head and screams, "Stop!" The whispers cease. She regains her composure and points to the path ahead. "This way!" Tom and Lisa follow, dragging Mark with them. After what felt like an eternity, the group stumbled upon a peculiar sight, a tree unlike any they have seen before. The bark was etched with strange symbols, and its hollow trunk emitted an eerie glow. Emily remembered the old village legend about a mystical tree that could break the curse of the Whispering Woods. Emily tries to remember the lullaby her mom used to tell her when she was small, but the words were escaping her. "Hey, do you guys remember that old lullaby? How did it go?" Tom looked over at her. "You mean," Lisa exclaims, "yes, the one, that, whispering curse." Emily points at Lisa. "Yes, that one, how does it go?" The group tries to remember as the woods creak and moan, the whispering becoming louder and more intense. "It goes like, Tom stutters. "In the dead of night," Lisa stammers. Yes, in the dead of night, when you find yourself alone, go and find yourself a stone. Hold it tight in hand, stick your feet in the sand, place your back against the tree, and count to 3. Hold your breath and close your eye and wait for the wind to die. And then you shall find yourself basked in the light and free from your plight." With nothing to lose, they gathered around the tree, sticking their feet in the sand, closing their eyes, and counting to 3. They held their breath as the ground trembled and the whispers turned into a deafening roar. In a blinding flash, the curse lifted and the whispering woods fell silent. The group found themselves outside the forest, surrounded by a warm glow of dawn. The horrors they faced were gone, but the memory of the night would forever haunt them. From that day on, Mark, Lisa, Tom, and Emily heeded the village's warning. Never again venturing near the dreaded woods, they forged a bond that night, in the crucible of terror, knowing that the Whispering Woods held secrets best left undisturbed. And so, dear listener, take heed of this tale, and remember that some mysteries are meant to remain shrouded in darkness. The Whispering Woods will forever stand as a testament to the dangers of curiosity and the chilling power of the unknown. Until next time.